Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for hitting that play button for another episode of the Heady Coleman Podcast. I want to say that I was not going to write anything today on my blog, so therefore I was not going to hit the record button and produce a podcast. Because today I'm also sharing a go win conversation, and I just thought that'd be too much. But I just could not write today, and I could not just hit that record button. So for the podcast, so I came up with something that I already kind of wanted to share anyway, just something real quick that I think could help some of you. And that is the why behind why I do a podcast. And I do it for a couple of reasons. One, I wanted to be able to share going conversations with people, and it would have easy access to listening to it. So with a podcast, you can be walking your dog, you could be in your car, you could be in your crib chilling. You know, there's so many different ways that you can listen to a podcast, and it's just easy. So I wanted to be able to share the going conversations with you via that platform, but also I just wanted to share content that I may use for keynotes. And just in case you never hear the keynote, you at least can hear the podcast and just kind of listening to my thoughts and kind of my experience, and then just sharing that with you in hopes that maybe it's something that you can grab and you say, man, I'm going to go be consistent in this because I feel like it can help me achieve one of the wins that I want for my life. So I thought that I start a podcast, and that's the reason that I have done that over the last, I don't know, many years now. I started out a long time ago, but I was not super consistent in producing them. And so right now, to be on this streak of doing them every day, I'm like, I can't stop. You know, it probably come to an end at some point where I won't be doing them every day. But for now, I'm going to produce as long as I can every day and just kind of give you a little something. See if you bite on it and it helps you. That's a great. Let me know if any of it helps you. So that's why I started a podcast. And then the next part of my blog was how I started. And let me do this here. Give me a second. I'm going to pop it up on the screen. Now, if you're not familiar with where I post my blogs, I do it at headycoleman.com. Right now I'm looking because I'm trying something new here. Oh, shout out to the great people at Boutique 206 in Jameson Realty who provide me with my great studio space to be able to produce the content. There's my website, headycoleman.com. That's where my blog is if you just want to go read versus watching me try to talk clearly on this podcast. So if you're watching video, I'm going to show you real quick all you got to do to go get this Anchor app. And this is how I started my podcast. I started it with the Anchor app, and here it is right here. So if I go into my phone, search, there it is right there. And this is the app that I use. Super simple. That plus sign down at the bottom, I just hit that. And then you'll see that microphone and just hit that. And just start recording just like that. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for hitting that play button for another episode of the Heady Coleman Podcast. And then you just hit stop and save. And there you go. You have an episode of a podcast. Just that simple. I just use the Anchor app. And you can get the Anchor app in the App Store. If I go to the App Store via the iPhone, or you can go to the Google Play Store if you use Android. But just type in Anchor, just like that. And there it is right there. The Anchor app is free, you know. And so just the easy way to be able to produce a podcast. So I use that. And I just encourage you to go jump in there. And the key is just to hit record. Just start and then create a strategy around how you will produce, how you will get your content. So you got to have a strategy, because if not, you're just going to hit record one time and you may never do another episode again. Right now, my strategy is simply take my blog post that I write and then talk over those blog posts to be able to create the podcast. And that's what you're listening to right now. So thank you. And that's it. Oh, let me see what else was on here. So yeah, that's it. So I wanted to just share with you real quick why I started the podcast. I just wanted to be able to share my conversations and content, and it'd be easy for you to have access to it. How I started it with the Anchor app. Just a quick review. And then my advice to you, just hit the record button, jump in, start recording, and I promise you, it's not as hard as it looks. And I'm probably not, it's not as hard as it looks. Just jump in there, start, okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to me ramble about why I started the podcast, how I started the podcast, and my advice to you. So, as always, ladies and gentlemen, go